Hey guys, Annie here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Today we are in Ravenswood and we are building a kind of mysterious, gloomy 2x1 Victorian-esque Gothic style home. This is in the top part of the world in Ravenswood, that kind of gloomy, grim kind of world. Kind of neighborhood. I have not built here, and I really wanted to build something here that kind of was reminiscent of something that was a little bit haunted and a little bit spooky. And when I think of the assets that came with Life and Death, a lot of them were quite Victorian in nature. You know, it kind of in line with the base game kind of Victorian items that we've got. So this particular build utilizes obviously a lot of Life and Death. And that kind of like neatly ties into what I want to do for the month of July. So if you are an avid Anna watcher, you know that I tend to do like a theme for the month. It just helps my creative process in terms of like what I want to build and what I want to present to you guys. And for the month of July, it's basically like focusing on worlds and like the different types of worlds in The Sims 4. So this particular build is built in Ravenswood, which came with the Life and Death expansion pack. But we have builds all across this month that are very different. Some that are built in, we're using the Jungle Adventure expansion pack, Strangerville, all sorts of things, expansion packs, game packs, just worlds that are different. All right, back to this particular build. So we do have the shell. We do have that exterior. We are just working on the roofing. I really love the roofing tile that we did get with Life and Death, and I've used a lot of the kind of roof decoration pieces, that front section, those little, I don't know, those awning things that sit on the top of the roof. I thought they were quite lovely. Obviously, Life and Death, the standout items were the build items, all of the doors, windows, those type of assets. I did build a very big manor when the pack first just came out. So if you are interested in seeing kind of that style of build, there is a build on the channel. I think it's like a 5x3. It's a huge build. It's lovely though. That's the Corbin family manor. So that is available on the channel if you'd like to go and watch something like that. But yeah, so we are just kind of moving into the floor plan, I think, or we're still working on the exterior. So let's talk a little bit about this. So I really like having a curved section on a veranda, and it's interesting how I kind of build something and then I kind of run with that theme for this month. So this particular month, we have kind of 3 builds that are arguably in a Victorian style. We have this build, a large build in Strangeville, and we have I think it's like a Willow Creek, New Orleans style Victorian-esque house. Beautiful builds. Anyway, they all have this kind of feature where like I wanted to do like a towered section or like a curved porch, and that was the vibe. So I've done quite a bit of that. So that was the inspiration for this particular build. I believe I did do the floor plan on grid paper, which is a very common thing for me to do with a lot of my builds. But yeah. All right, so we've gone in with the flooring. I really like the flooring that comes with Life and Death. The swatches definitely run a bit. I like them because it's like it's different shades of brown within the kind of pattern that's in the flooring. I love these like kind of shattered windows. I thought these were really good. It kind of just shows the age of this particular house. So yeah, we are starting in kind of the living room. This is kind of my way of planning where I want the floor plan. And sometimes I do this. I lay out some furniture that's like placement furniture. And in this case, I just placed it and I just kept it. So it was a fairly straightforward build to decorate. As I said, it's a 2x1. I do apologize the clipping in that wall. It is to do with the spandrels I'm not really sure how to get rid of it. So if you see it, I'm really sorry. I don't really know how to get rid of it, but yeah. This build is available on the Sims 4 gallery. My gallery ID, Antoinette44. It is below in the description below. So if you would like to download and play in this house, you absolutely can, though that information is there. So this is just me working out the spacing. So you walk in, you've got like a little entryway that leads into your main living room. You then have a bathroom, which I think I'm just kind of working out now where the bathroom should go, which it's very small, tiny even. And then I put in a door to the back, I think. I've pretty much used the majority of this lot. It's quite a big house for this lot. And I think that's because a lot of these builds were more vertical, like multi-story and things like that. So like a more like horizontal build like this that's one story doesn't really fit the lot that well. But other than that, I think it's a lovely build. I've used the doors from Life and Death, obviously. The lighting is a bit hard to see. It's actually a really dark build. And I think it's the chandeliers. They kind of have that yellow light. It's not as bright. I do try to put additional lighting in, just kind of watching this back and seeing how dark it is. So, yeah, that's the other thing. I apologize for that if it's a little bit like hard to see, but it gets better. So yeah, in this particular build, we obviously have the master bedroom, and then we have I think it's like an infant's room. I think it was the easiest type of room to use with the space. It wasn't a particular big second room, but this home has a massive kitchen, a really lovely kitchen. So that's really nice. So yeah. We are just cluttering up the entranceway. I love this mirror. I've said it 1,000,000,000 times. This comes from Get Together. This new lamp that comes with businesses and hobbies, I really enjoy. I feel that I've said it before in multiple other builds. It does have a Victorian-esque feel to it. I really like it. I don't use the colored variants of it. I always use it in black or white, but I really enjoy that. And the main archway to the house is actually from Jungle Adventure. It's like a stone archway, and I just think it works in so many builds. I've used it here. I've also used it in in May I did like an Italian villa Tuscany style build. I also used it in that build as well. Any build where like the home is a little bit dated, that particular piece seems to work really well. All right, so we've gone in with a mirror. We've gone in, I think it's also that dark wallpaper that kind of makes everything dark and gloomy and not so bright. So that doesn't help it really, but I kind of, I still like it though. It just reminds me a little bit of a library, that kind of wallpaper. These are base game curtains. I have grown to really love these curtains. I use them quite a bit this month in my content. And again, the more Victorian-esque style homes. And yeah, so that was the master bedroom. And now we are just kind of back out here, just kind of cluttering out the space. You can see I'm trying to put something there to make up for the glitch, the clipping that's from the spandrels. I thought these lanterns were really lovely. And I think we are now moving into that kitchen and dining. So this is massive. I would arguably say this is like an equal size to the living room, if not bigger. It probably doesn't need to be this big, but it just works. I've obviously used all the kitchen set that came with Life and Death. I've used this kind of emerald green and brown swatch. I don't normally use this swatch, so I thought I'd give it a go. I thought it was nice because the brown is complementary to the wallpaper, but the green is like a pop of color. So it still gives a little bit of focus to the room. And also it helps me to decorate. So if there's like you have like a base color and there's like an additional color, in this case it's green, I can then use greenery or flowers, or I could use like a certain decor piece that has green in it. So it helps me to make the actual space look cohesive. I'm not the best at decorating. I really enjoy just kind of like building the shell and doing a floor plan. And there are times where I'm like, can I just leave it like this? And then just post it on the gallery. But I like to, I do decorate it enough that it's like you can kind of see the vision of, okay, this is what I would use this space for. Of course, you could gut it and do whatever, but I always am envious of those who can like super clutter a build and like make it look really lived in. And maybe that's something I will attempt. But I don't know. You'll have to let me know in the comment section down below. Do you like this kind of pulled back style of decorating where it's not full on? Yeah. Anyway, I love this rounded rug from Life and Death. It's lovely. I've used it quite a bit this month in a couple of different builds. And yeah, it's quite nice. All right, we are in the infants room and we are using a lot of the Storybook Nursery Kit. The Storybook Nursery Kit had that kind of nod to the Goth family. So there was a whole range of swatches that were really kind of, that suited, I guess, the Goth family. And I've used all of those types of swatches. I love this kind of deep burgundy red with the gold. I think it's lovely. I reckon like a vampire's house would be really lovely with this. Speaking of occults, we do have a new expansion pack launching very soon. I unfortunately won't be doing any content for that until August because I already have July stuff already planned. So I'm getting married in a couple of months, so like I need to have everything pre-built. So yeah, and I have a busy schedule. I do work full time, so yeah. So I will get to the new expansion pack eventually, but I'm very excited for it. It looks amazing, and if it's kind of giving a little bit cottage living vibes, but like outdoor retreat, which I don't have outdoor retreat, so maybe that's be an interesting thing to see. But yeah, I'm excited for it nonetheless. All right, we are to the final room, which is this very tiny bathroom. I've only used a bathtub in this particular build because there is an infant, so that is a way to bath them. However, they can be bathed in sinks, so maybe I could have just put a shower. I use the sink that came from Vampires and just a base game toilet. All right, I think we are moving outside to do the landscaping. That's the other thing. I kind of like don't have an order about how I build. I kind of just open the build and like whatever pulls my attention. So sometimes I generally do the shell and the floor plan together, and then it's kind of like I might decorate, I might do the outside, who knows. In this outdoor section, I wanted to do a little bit of seating. Do I put a chess table? I think I put a chess table out here and maybe an easel. You could easily do like a little dining area out here, like a little kind of, that would have been really pretty, but I just went with skill building because it's more practical with the game. And yeah, I put in some knitting because why not? I kind of figured that there might be like a sim that's a little bit older potentially in this particular home, maybe. I love the fence that came with Life and Death. As I said, I used up the majority of this lot. It is all house. So there isn't much landscaping to actually do. So, yeah, I keep it very simple. I'm just going in with some pathing and what do I do? Terrain paint. I'm not sure. Oh, I've gone in with the Realm of Magic pathing. That's the other pack I haven't used a lot, Realm of Magic. Maybe I should revisit the Glimmerbrook, I think it's the world. Yeah. Yeah, definitely on the list. But speaking of upcoming content, if you guys want to see any type of build or any certain build in a certain world, in a certain style, please let me know in the comment section down below and I will aim to achieve that. So we are just using, I think we're just using the standard catalog. I'm not using debug here. These kind of like reddish bushes. I like this because it adds a bit of color. This is a very dark build from the front and it's just like it needed some color. So I thought that those shrubs looked quite well. I used some stuff from the Vampires Pack, those kind of burnt trees. I thought they were quite cool. Then standard pine trees, because that seems to be what's in the area. Gone in with some dirt under all the landscaping. And I believe we are just doing the final touches, adding a mailbox and a bin, perhaps. I used this one from Seasons actually because it had a bit of stone on it and it kind of matched the theme of the exterior. All right, we are live in game. So that's your front porch. As I said, it's got the skill building stuff. You enter in, you have that lovely little entry hallway, which I really enjoy with the windows and how that looks. You have that living room, you have a study nook, a bookcase, all that type of stuff. It's pretty spacious. And then you have that lovely kitchen and dining, which as I said is quite massive for this particular space. That infant's room and the master bedroom and the tiny little bathroom. All right, guys, that is today's build. If you enjoyed this content, please let me know in the comment section down below. And if you'd like to see more, please consider subscribing. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.